Welcome to the channel. This is the Tesla Model 3 Performance, and you can see my full review of the facelifted Model 3 on the channel, but this is the fast version, the version which goes really quickly, over 460 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Let's start at the front with these wheels. These are 20-inch wheels at the front and back, and they have Pirelli P0 tires specifically designed to work better for Tesla. I love Pirelli P0 tires. I just think they look really good. A little thing, I know, tire design, but anyway. And these wheels are actually staggered, so they're wider at the back than they are at the front, which they do so it improves the handling of the car. Now, Audi do a similar thing on the RS3 with wider fronts than the rear. Tesla have done it the other way around, which is typically how you find it on cars, but the staggered tires mean better performance. These wheels are performance model exclusives, and these sections actually come out so you can remove them, and you can see there's red brake calipers under there, which are again exclusive to the Model 3 Performance. I love the look of these wheels, and I think the removable aero bits are very clever. So if you want to have more open wheels, you can do that. If you want to keep it like this, which is better for the aerodynamics, then great. At the front here, there are some changes, namely this front splitter, which looks very cool. And we've got these air vents down the side, which go through and come out the other side of the tires, which improve cooling and aerodynamics. It looks really good in this stealth gray color. However, I would prefer a brighter color so you can see the details a bit better. But there are definitely some cool changes to this car, starting with that splitter at the front. At the rear of the Model 3, we've got this cool carbon fiber spoiler, which I love, and we've got a rear diffuser for helping with the aerodynamics, and then we've got the badge here. So this is not the plaid badge, this is the performance badge, or I think they're calling it Insane, and it looks very similar. It's very cool, and it's on the seats inside as well. Here inside the Model 3 Performance, there are some nice changes, including these fantastic seats, these bucket seats, which have got bolsters on the side, which have the Performance model logo on here, which looks great. I love that little attention to detail. These seats feel quite supportive to me. I haven't obviously taken on the track, but they've got good support, and I'm sure they would do a great job on the track. And then other than that, inside here, we've got carbon fiber on the dash here, which makes it look more sporty. And we've got obviously all this Alcantara around the inside of the doors. And it's just a little bit more sporty on the inside, which makes it a bit different from the Model 3 standard models. But the main difference, other than these fantastic seats, is on here. So let's have a look at the track mode. The infotainment system is the same as on the standard Model 3, and you can check out my video of that, but this has got something new. If we go to dynamics, we can of course adjust the acceleration from chill to standard to insane if we want the really fast performance. We've got our ride and handling, and as we know, we've got the ability for this car to use the adaptive dampeners to adjust the suspension, which is a fantastic feature. And we can adjust the steering weight from heavy, standard, and light. Now, if we move to track mode, it says only use it on a track. And now we have a lot of interesting new settings. Now, first of all, you can hear the fans and the cooling start to come on now, because it's trying to make sure that everything is as cool as possible before we put that performance on. In our race preset, the balance is 0 because we want it to be precise and exact, and we want it to turn in, and we don't want it to have oversteer or understeer. We don't want the stability assist because we want the driver to have total control. So that is really important, and we can see those settings. If we go to the drift preset now, you can see I can now see the handling balance is 100% to the oversteer, or +10 to the oversteer. And again, stability assist is off because we want to make sure that you can drift the car. And then if we go to this test mode, so you can call it whatever you want. We call it test for this video, but you can then change it. So I can then have up to 10 of oversteer and up to -10 of understeer. So if I want to drift in or out, I can do that. I can also adjust the stability assist manually. So let's say I wanted to have a go at drifting, for example, but I wanted to make sure that I still had a bit of stability control, so I didn't spin it into the corners. I can do that. And I can adjust the regen braking as well. And I can also adjust the post-drive cooling, and I can save the laps for the dash cam. And you know, that's the same with these. These are all grayed out because this is a preset. It automatically does those things, post-race cooling and pre-race cooling, which you can hear from the fans and everything. But that is really cool. Now on the side here, you can see here it shows us our component temperatures for the motors and the brakes at the front and the back and the battery as well. And we can see how it's doing. We can see the ESC's traction control is off, and we can also see down here it says track mode enabled. Automatic emergency braking is unavailable because it's turned off all the assistance safety features, and it says track mode enabled, and it says track up here just in case you didn't realize you were in track mode. If the noise of the whirring motors and everything going on wasn't enough, now you have it in big writing on the screen as well. Now you could drive the car like this all the time if you wanted to, but you'd be giving up on the fantastic safety features that Tesla has built in, and that would be a compromise I wouldn't want to make. But you know, there are always some people that love to drive on the edge and don't like to have everything on. Well, with this, they can do that in their Model 3. Just, they won't be crashing because they're not paying attention. They'll be crashing because they're going too fast. Hopefully, neither will happen though. But that's new track mode settings on the new Performance Model 3. Sitting in the back of the Model 3 Performance is exactly like the standard Model 3. We've got that big glass panoramic roof. We've got these comfy seats, and we've got the same infotainment system in the back with a second screen. We let you watch videos and play music and see what's going on, and 2 USB Type-C charging ports. We're in the Model 3 Performance, and we have the insane acceleration on, and it is insane. And I will test the 0 to 60 time a bit later. But this is the Performance model, so it is a car which is meant to be the sporty Tesla, the I guess the M or the RS of Tesla. Now, as a road car, does it live up to that, or is it lacking? Well, I can tell you from my previous video on the facelifted Model 3 that it was a really, really good car to drive. The suspension, which is improved on this car and is more dynamic, which we'll get onto in a second, was already really, really good on that, and it was able to handle the roads and the bumps in the roads and the potholes really, really well. And it just felt like a better car than the previous version. Tesla had improved it, and the facelift was more than just a design upgrade, but also actual improvement of the car's handling and ride and suspension. Well, this has got even more. This is the first Tesla with dynamic adaptive suspension. So it actually detects what the road is doing and it adapts to that. So as I go around this corner here, it felt very, very stable. I could feel the suspension. Well, maybe I can't feel the suspension doing it, because the whole point of this is you can't feel it. But what I can tell you is, as I went around that corner, it felt like it had become more stable mid-corner than it had before I went in. So it felt like something was going on, and that is a really good feature that this car has. Now, there are other features too of this Model 3 Performance. Other than the design changes, which I've already talked about, there's also a track mode. It brings it into line with other performance manufacturers of cars, such as BMW, such as Mercedes, who have track settings available to them. This is a super, super fun car to drive. You effortlessly overtake people if you need to, because you've got that 460 horsepower of power, you've got loads of torque, and also it's very quiet, so nobody knows you're coming. So you're like gone past them before they can even react in lots of cases, which is one of the things I love about electric cars and overtaking. If you've got a powerful electric car, most of the time nobody even knows you're overtaking until you come past them, which is what I love. This car is dynamic and feels much, much, much more sporty than the standard Model 3. And it also has very, very decent range. We've got a WLTP rating of around 319 miles, and I'm seeing quite happily with a full battery around 250, 260 miles, which is pretty much in line with what you expect from all cars nowadays. My own Q4 e-tron has around that when it's fully charged at 100%, but that doesn't have 460 horsepower, that doesn't have a track mode, and that isn't as dynamic. It's a totally different kind of car, being an SUV, but for Tesla to have this performance and that range there is ace, and it's really, really good, and I think that it's a fantastic achievement that they've been able to do. And Tesla originally had the range leading capabilities in their cars, and to have it with the Performance model, that's a really, really good thing, which I'm very impressed with. Let's check 0 to 60 time, go! Can we get there in less than 3 seconds? 3.42. The road is a bit wet, it would be fair to say. I have no doubt that on a not slippy track or road, we could easily do it in the 2.9 seconds that Tesla claims. Now we're in track mode. Track mode is designed to give you 100% of the control and composure that you can want when driving a car. That means if you turn into a corner, it's very precise. The brakes are optimized to be great and to be very sharp. And of course, we do have brand new brakes on this car, which are meant to be optimized for track performance. And as I turn in and I move the car around, it feels precise, it feels quick, and it feels very level. I have to say that this is feeling very, very stable in the corners. Now, I'm not on a track, now I'm on a road. And this is a fantastic road car. A fantastic road car that can go nice and fast on the road within legal limits, of course. I don't know about on a track because I haven't driven it on a track, but there's little doubt that it will be very, very fast wherever you take it. Will it perform in the corners? I don't know, but you'll definitely have a lot of fun trying the drift mode. So that's the Model 3 performance, really fast, fun to drive, loads of technology, big improvement over the previous generation. And this is a lot faster than the last model. Not that you would know it if you hadn't driven the performance version of the Tesla Model 3, because no Teslas are slow, I can tell you that much. There's a lot to love about this car. And if you want to see other cars like it, please have a look here and here. Thanks for watching.